my viewer, I have selected this topic to explain. Okay, and this topic is the principles of OOP and what is OOP. First of all, we will discuss what is OOP. OOP is object oriented paradigm. We need to understand all these three words. What is object, what is oriented, and what is paradigm. That needs to be clear first. Then we will be further moving on the different features of OOP. Object. Object is the real world entity. Everything is object in this world. This board, this marker, I, or this house, your mobile phone, everything is object. So when we connect our program, the code with the real world object, that is called, means you can reach to the program, you can clear the concept, and you can develop your software in a better way when you connect with OOP. So try to make program. This is a different paradigm. Okay, so OOP, object, that is real world object, real world entity. Okay, then it is oriented. What is the meaning of oriented? Oriented means when you are moving around something, when you are focusing on something. Okay, means your programming will be oriented on object. It will be somewhere around the object only. That is why it is called object oriented. And the third word is, that is paradigm. I am writing here, this is what paradigm. Paradigm means what? In English, paradigm means method. Simply you understand, method. Object oriented method, a kind of method which is basically orienting around object. That kind of method, that kind of teaching or programming technology or programming structure, paradigm, all these things is known as OOP. There are different types of tactics of writing codes in computer, but OOP has been the most successful paradigm in all. Okay, so let's come to the features, the basic features. Why OOP is so popular, why OOP is very important in comparison with other paradigms. Okay, so we will deal with all four. So let me introduce first of all features of OOP, and then one by one we will be learning the importance and the use, and I will try to explain in a very simple terms so that everyone will get the concept of features. So let's see that there are four basic features. There is one encapsulation, polymorphism, abstraction, and inheritance. See, these all things are in our life. These terms are related in our real life. You can connect these words to your real life also. How to do that? Let's talk about encapsulation. The simple meaning of encapsulation is what? It is called wrapping up of data. Wrapping up of data. In terms of what? In terms of Java, it is known as. In terms of Java, we call it wrapping up of data. But if you see normally, what is encapsulation? Encapsulation means when something is wrapped up. Something is like, if I have this thread, you can see that, or this thread is on a piece of cylindrical paper. Okay, a hard paper, on that the thread is wrapped up. It is encapsulated. Try to understand. Encapsulation means wrapping something. So why we need to wrap something here? When we wrap the data from one layer to another layer, then our data is getting protected. It is secured. For security purpose, encapsulation ensures the security of your programs and the codes. That's why it becomes very important. It was a bigger issue in the other programming languages such as C and C++, that encapsulation plays a very important and crucial role. Then it comes polymorphism. Polymorphism is one name, many form. Simply you say many form. many form. Everyone has different role. I have different role. In school I'm a teacher, at home I may be a husband or a brother or a father. Okay, so everyone has a different role at in the different aspect. So the concept of polymorphism is a very important in Java, because we can utilize the same thing like function overloading. I will not go to those terms, I will be coming when I will explain that. Okay, so polymorphism is basically what it has the feature of displaying the same thing into different forms. Okay, so that is polymorphism. Then next is abstraction. Abstraction, basically it means that hiding your complexities and you show your features. Okay, so simple word is hide complexities. Okay, complexities are hidden and features are displayed. Features are displayed or shown, you can say that. Okay, so when we show our features but we do not show that how much problem we have faced in displaying that feature, so that the user has no meaning with that complexity. User needs a proper result and output. So that is also a great feature of OOP programming paradigm, that it hides the complexities. I will take proper example, I will connect this topic with real world, and then it will be simpler for you. The last one is inheritance. Inheritance is a very common word. You may have listened this word many a times. In biology also this term is very common. Inheritance is what? Inherit means taking something, or like you are inheriting the features and qualities inside you from your forefathers, like your parent, like your grandparents. Okay, so those features comes from your parent and grandparents. That is called, you have inherited those features, you have brought those features inside you. So in same way, inheritance will help us to bring the codes from other places in the same program, in the same package. Okay, so that is what inheritance. Okay, so one by one we will be learning these topics. Just look at this picture which is on your screen right now. It has a stair. You can see that there is a stair, and on each step a different component of object oriented programming system is there. On the first step you will get object, on the next step you will be having class, then inheritance, then it comes polymorphism, then it comes abstraction. Okay, and if you see that at the top of this stair, what is given? Encapsulation. Encapsulation is there at the top of this stair. Okay, because the basic entity of your program is object, and object will be inside the class, the classes will be inherited, and there will be different forms of the methods and functions and the constructors. Then they will have their abstraction features, and everything will be at last combined. It will be combined at the last of the program. So with this help of this stair kind of diagram, your object oriented programming concept will be little bit better. The main aim of object-oriented programming is to implement real-world concept. As in the beginning I have already told. So what are the real-world concepts here? Object, that is real-world entity. Classes, that is blueprint for the objects. Abstraction, that means hiding the details and the complexities and displaying the features. So basically abstraction means controlling the visibility, that which user will see what and which user will see what the user will not get to see. Okay, inheritance is what? The backward compatibility, how to connect with the next class to the previous class. That is also called the concept of parent and child relation. And the last one is polymorphism, that is different forms, different kinds of forms. Encapsulation. When a class are defined, programs can specify that certain methods or state variables remain hidden inside the class. Yes, if you see this circle, a circle, in the circle there are two. The smaller one is of yellow color and the bigger one, the outer one, is of pink color, light pink color. The bigger one is having some visible methods and visible variables, if you see. And the smaller one, the yellow one, is having some hidden states of variables and methods. So sometimes in the program, we need to do this. We need to hide some details. Sometimes you have some your secrets, some important things which you do not reveal to your friends or anyone. So in the same way, in the program also, there are some data, the member functions variables that needs to be hidden. So for hiding this, to do this, we have the concept of encapsulation. Okay, so these variables are accessible from within the class. The hidden variables will be only visible and accessible within the class. Outside of the class where it is defined, it will not be visible and accessible. The combination of the collecting all the attributes of an object into a single class, such as definitions, combined with the ability to hide some definitions and type information within the class, that is called encapsulation. When you're bringing all the things, variables, data, and somewhere something is hidden, and when you are making it inside a class, that is known as encapsulation. Polymorphism. It is the ability of an object to take on many forms. The most common use of polymorphism in object-oriented paradigm occurs when a parent class reference is used to refer a child class object. Any Java object that can pass more than one ISA test is considered to be polymorphic. In Java, all Java objects are polymorphic since any object will pass the ISA test for the own type and for the class object. See, as I have told in the beginning, that you have a different role at the different place. I have a different role at the different places. So in the same way, an method in a class which name is sum can be the method of any other class also. So there should not be you can say that there should not be any conflict in between. To remove this conflict, there is a concept of polymorphism. If you see, the bank has the ATM option also, the check option also, and you can direct have the withdrawal. So this is what polymorphism is. Abstraction, one of the most important feature of OOP. It is the core object-oriented programming concept, the process of hiding internal data and implementation from the outer world. There are two types of abstractions: data abstraction and process abstraction. So you don't need to go to into the details of this. Simply understand. If you see here, I have taken the pictures of car, bus and a tank. As a user, of a car, I don't have any means with the wheels, with the engine and all. I don't need to know about it. I need to have a very good car which can run fast, which can give a good mileage as a driver of the car. But as an engineer of the car, that I have to mean with the basic features, the engines, okay, the mileage. But if you come to the bus, same thing again. If I have something to use, I will be only mean with the uses of that, not the complexities, how the bus is made, how much money has been invested, what kind of engine it has. Okay, the complexities we are not going to deal with. Okay, that is what abstraction is. Okay, what kind of visibility we want to put. Engineer will have different visibility, but you will have a different visibility. The company which is making the tank has different visibility, had a different look to the object. Okay, so different people have different look, different visibility control, and that concept is implemented in OOP also, that is called abstraction. Last but not the least, inheritance. It is what? A kind of relationship between two or more classes, where derived class inherits the properties of pre-existing class, that is called base class or parent class. The class which is getting the data from other class is known as child class, and the base class which is providing the information is called parent class or base class. What is base class? It is the class whose properties are inherited. Okay. There are different names: super class, base class, parent class, and derived class is what? Subclass or child class. So this is the concept of inheritance. I hope the concept of OOP principles is clear. Thank you everyone. Subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for the latest videos. Thank you.